Hello and welcome to another episode of Unboxing with Paul. And today I'm very excited to bring you the Revvl 6 Pro. T-Mobile step up to their entry-level lineup. Let's take a look at it. Released in August of 2022, this phone retails for $219.99. It sports a 6.82 1640 by 720 IPS display with the exact same MT700 processor as the Revvl 6. However, this one does have 128 gigabytes of storage paired to 6 gigabytes of RAM, as well as dual band Wi-Fi AC, NFC, which was not included in the Revvl 6 non-Pro, and Bluetooth 5.2, as well as a slightly larger 5000 milliamp hour battery. In the box, we got a quick start guide, legal and safety, as well as a Type-C to Type-A USB cable. We actually have a nice SIM ejector tool, which is very odd to see, and I guess point for Revvl / T-Mobile's in-house manufacturer. Now the device itself is a rather large phone. It feels very much like the Revvl V Plus 5G with its candy bar design. It feels definitely wider and sleeker than the majority of devices. However, once we get into it, you're going to be able to see that it's a very similarly laid out phone as to what you'd already come to expect. And there's nothing quite out of the ordinary, except that, again, it's meant to be more of a candy bar device with its semi-glossy finish in the back. It's very reminiscent of the Moto G Stylus 5G, the first generation, if you ask me. When we look over on the left side of the device, we can see our SIM/SD card tray. When we go over to the top, we can see a pinhole microphone. When we go to the right, you can appreciate the volume sliders as well as a power button, in addition to me being driven up the wall, because every single time I am just trying to turn it up, I'm trying to turn it down, just simply adjust the volume. I end my phone call, I turn off my screen, I get killed. The immersiveness is lost into whatever activity or whatever content I am consuming. If manufacturers could please put the volume sliders and the power button on separate sides, I would really appreciate that. Moving on to the bottom of the device, we can see speaker grills as well as Type-C port, one more pinhole microphone, and of course a 3.5 millimeter auxiliary jack for our headphones and a line out if you so please. When we look over at the back of the device, we can appreciate a 50 megapixel lens, which is our main shooter, a 5 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel macro, and a 2 megapixel depth lens for that bokeh effect. Our selfie camera is actually going to be coming in at 16 megapixels, which ought to provide some crispy selfies. With Geekbench, we're able to confirm we have 2 of our cores clocked in at 2.2 gigahertz for those heavier, more power intensive tasks. Meanwhile, the remaining 6 cores are clocked in at 2.0 gigahertz for those lighter day-to-day tasks. And I will be right back with you guys as soon as this is over. Okay, and we are back, and we got a 478 for the single core and a 1620 for the multi-core. Again, just to confirm, we got a 478 on the single core and a 1620 for the multi-core, which are very good numbers, as something like Galaxy S21 Ultra would have a 924 for the multi-core, and a 474 is what we have, about half of the performance for roughly a quarter of the price. I'll definitely take that. Something similar happened with our multi-core score. We have a 1620 versus a 3085 that a Galaxy S21 Ultra would have. Again, we have roughly half of the performance for about a quarter of the price. I'll take that any day. Now, this is supposed to snap much crisper selfies than our other Revvl 6 counterpart. And then, geez, that was a selfie on the Revvl 6 Pro 5G. And let's go ahead and see how our video looks. So then, this is what video looks and sounds like on the Revvl 6 Pro 5G. You guys be the judge of how good or how bad this camera quality is. It actually doesn't look half bad. It actually looks very crisp, seeing as though I can actually see individual hairs on my face. It looks like a very good camera. And let's flip it around and find out. So then this is what video looks and sounds like on the main camera of the Revvl 6 Pro 5G. You guys tell me just how good or how bad this camera quality is. Go ahead and leave in the comments. What are your thoughts on this phone? Would you pick this up? Would you leave it alone? I mean, honestly, at $219.99, it seems like a pretty attractive option. But if I can just save some money and get the Revvl 6 without the Pro version, I might just go ahead and do that, as that seems to do quite well. It has about half the storage than this one does, but it does have that same MT650 processor. It looks like, as with everything, as time goes by, things do get better and things do improve. And as always, thanks for watching.